Hello, dear Light Leader. I have an exciting news for you. We're launching a membership community group with the Light Leaders podcast. I've started this podcast because podcasts have been changing my life totally. 5 years ago, when I went through my spiritual awakening, I listened to a lot of podcasts from Tim Ferriss, Aubrey Marcus, Joe Rogan, many people. I was listening to them while I was on my motorbike in Australia, while I was walking on the beach, while I would be traveling. And it's been amazing. It's opened me to a new life that I feel is more conscious and more aligned with what I came here on earth to do. So I'm very grateful for podcasts, and that's when 4 years ago I started my own because I was so inspired and I wanted to give back and to also learn from more people. I got so much inspiration from the people I had in my podcast. And I think it's amazing to be able to be asking questions to some amazing people we have around the world. So that's why I launched this community group. We're going to do every week calls together where most of the time there will be a special guest and people from the community can ask their questions, like a Q&A. So imagine if, look at the people I've had on the podcast, Ted Carr, Shane Sterling, Josh X, could be some things around the raw vegan nutrition, could be more around spirituality, and you can suggest the guests too. But the idea every week is we have those amazing guests, we ask them questions, and that's going to be the opportunity. So you can join, you can just let me know, contact me directly on Telegram or join the group already, the open group. I'll keep doing the podcast, but that will be an important part for people who want to dive in, because the podcast is about inspiring, but it's also about connecting the 144,000, connecting the light leaders. And so when I do my podcast, I love that people get inspiration around the world when they watch it. And thank you for the love for the people who listen, like, and tell me they like it. But also, I want to connect. Now we're the ones we've been waiting for to create a new us, right? So we want, on top of being inspired, to connect with each other. And I think this is a great first step. I have other ventures in my life where I'm building the new us, but I think through the podcast can be a very aligned way to see where it leads. Because when we spend time in those deep containers, getting really inspired, there are things that are bound to come from that. Beautiful things that we can co-create together. So that's the other intention. There's inspiring, but there's also connecting us like leaders. So it's going to launch in 2 weeks, and I'll prepare the lineup of the special guests. There'll be a special Telegram group. And yeah, if you're interested, let me know, because that'd be epic to have you. And I mean, you can speak and ask more questions about what it's going to be about more exactly, and we'll see where it leads, because everything I do, I want it to ultimately surrender it to consciousness and to become a decentralized organization. So these two in terms will become one. It's not one now, because actually I figured out that to build a decentralized organization at the beginning, you need more centralization. You need some people to steward it and take responsibility for bringing buzz to the project, right? Even when you think of Bitcoin, one of the main examples of a decentralized project, where at the beginning there was someone or a group of people that stewarded the creation of it and releasing it into the open space. So that's what I'm doing also with the Light Leaders podcast community group. But that's going to become a DAO at some point, when the tools make it easy and there's enough people motivated to steward it. And it will have a life of its own. Maybe some of the members will become more the people we want to have as special guests. That could be an idea. And we'll have also community calls where we get to know each other better and answer each other's question, because the member can ask questions, but sometimes become the teacher. And that's how we evolve with the roles. So I think that's kind of enough for now. I mean, I could dive into more details. I put that on a little page, but yeah, I'm excited because again, the interviewing people like the people I've had on the podcast has been giving me so much that I feel um, a lot of people would benefit from being asking questions to those people and learning from them without the fuss of creating your own podcast and the time commitment for it. So I think it's a good in between. And then if you have questions, you can let me know. There'll be a usual time in the week, but there'll be some flexibility based on the guests we have. And the last thing is we're going to be recording a good half of the calls, but not all of it. And the reason is we'll have calls that might be more controversial. We'll have calls that have things we might want to discuss in private and not put on YouTube. So I'll put on my YouTube channel, maybe, I think it'll be a signature of our calls, maybe like a half of, if we do an hour, 30 to 40 minutes of it would be on YouTube. And then if there's parts that we want to discuss offline, the last 20 minutes will be offline. And only kept in a membership area, only for the members to see. Like this, we can go deeper, and the guest won't be afraid, let's say, maybe to say things they don't want in the public, or the people who ask questions. And for me, for the Lightleaders channel, I won't get strikes because I already got a strike, and YouTube threatened to deplatform me. I already lost one Instagram account. I had to create a new one from scratch. So I don't want that again. So I play the game, put on YouTube what's YouTube friendly, and then make it a signature that the second half kind of the conversation is more private. And that gives an incentive also to people to being members, while at the same time showcasing the conversation to the world, because I want to be open and showcase as much as it makes sense and that we want. So yeah, there'll be a private Telegram group, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. So if you're interested, yeah, I'll put my Telegram directly. You can PM me directly, and we can talk about it. If you have questions, if you're in, I'll send you the link. And yeah, we'll start in 2 weeks. I'll share the lineup later. You'll have a voice, of course. I'll ask people who do you want to speak to, and yeah, I think the guest speakers will be really excited, because usually a lot of people have on my podcast, they really like to answer questions. A lot of us really love to answer questions, and it's gonna give them exposure, because we will put a good part of it on YouTube as a podcast. So it's gonna get each time hundreds or thousands of views. So that's perfect. If you want to be involved in any ways also, if you want to conduct interviews, if you want to support in other ways, please reach out. Again, that's like a beautiful project I want to co-steward with the other people who want to steward it. And much love to you guys. Let's go create that new us together. Thank you, Lightleader, for tuning in. Oh, and one last thing to give you a little call to action. If you're interested, just in the comments of this YouTube video, reply interested, and I'll reply to you and we can start the conversation. So just saying interested in the comments and we can speak more. Much love.